Here are the 12 of the most disappointing Brawl Stars updates, starting off with the Forced Landscape mode. When Brawl Stars officially launched globally, Supercell made a big decision: landscape mode only. Before that, beta players were used to portrait, and it felt snappy, smooth, and perfect for one-thumb gameplay. Landscape forced wider thumb movement, awkward controls, and made phones harder to grip. The worst part? There was no option to switch back. A lot of early fans dropped the game entirely because it felt like a totally different experience. But the next update made thousands of free-to-play players quit the game: the removal of ticketed events. Ticketed events like Boss Fight and Big Game were a huge part of the weekend grind. You could stack up tickets, wait for Saturday, and go all in for coins, power points, and XP. It gave players something to look forward to. But then, bam! Supercell removed it with barely any warning. They replaced it with bland event rotations and no real reward system. What used to feel like a special part of Brawl Stars turned into a hollow experience. The worst part? There was no reason it had to go. It just disappeared. However, the addition of the first ever ranked system, Power Play, was so underwhelming that most people forgot about it. Power Play was pitched as the ultimate challenge for high-level players, something for those who had fully maxed accounts. But when it actually dropped, it was dry. 3 matches a day, the same sweaty comps, and rewards that weren't worth the grind. There was no matchmaking filter, so randoms could ruin your entire run. It also didn't feel competitive. It just felt like a stricter version of ladder. It had huge potential, but it got boring fast. Eventually, they replaced it with Club League, which has its own issues. This next update, though, made the entire community come together and call Supercell out. For literally years, players begged Supercell for some kind of Club War system. Every Brawl talk hinted at it, and the hype built up big time. When it finally came, it wasn't Club Wars, it was Club League. And it wasn't epic battles or base defense like Clash of Clans, it was just matchmaking and grinding tickets every week. The gameplay didn't even feel competitive, and most people just auto-queued to get it over with. It turned clubs into work. Players wanted strategy and team versus team, not chores. However, the launch of the Brawl Pass almost ended the casual community. When Season 1 of the Brawl Pass launched, everyone was hyped. New skins, a guaranteed chromatic brawler, tons of tiers. It seemed like a win. But once you looked closer, the cracks started to show. Free players lost access to boxes, and progression slowed down unless you bought the pass. Plus, the pass was super grindy unless you played daily. It felt like Supercell shifted the whole game economy around monetization. While it added content, it also made Brawl Stars way more pay-to-progress than before. But this next update made the game feel like a chore to open, nerfing star powers too hard. In the early days, star powers were a big deal. Unlocking one felt like a game changer. It could totally transform how a brawler played. But then came the wave of nerfs. Some powers went from strong to useless almost overnight. It made investing in maxing out brawlers feel like a gamble. Players who spent time, or even money, on getting star powers felt punished for no reason. Nerfing is important, but this felt excessive and sloppy. The next update, however, was just a money grab: the Gears system launch. The Gears system was meant to add depth to gameplay, but it ended up being a confusing and expensive mess. Crafting required multiple currencies, and even maxing one gear took forever unless you spent gems. Worse, the benefits were barely noticeable, like 10% reload speed or minor healing. It felt like a grindy feature added just for monetization. It also widened the gap between casual players and high spenders. Instead of feeling excited about the new strategy, players felt forced into farming just to stay competitive. It was a grind no one asked for. This next update, though, removed the creativity from the game. The first Mapmaker update. Mapmaker was one of the most requested features ever. Fans imagined creating competitive maps, getting them featured, and shaping the meta. But when it first launched, total letdown. You couldn't share your maps easily, and the interface was super clunky. Most maps in rotation were just trolls, like spike mazes or meme maps. It became a joke rather than a feature. And worst of all, there was no reward or recognition for making a great map.
Well, thanks guys for watching my first video. Take care.